For instance, if you're feeling amotivated, but you find yourself cleaning the house as a way to procrastinate, you could say, well, cleaning the house is harder than sitting down and doing nothing. But actually, in that moment or in those moments, that's not the case.
Dr. Andrew Huberman is a neuroscientist and professor at Stanford University School of Medicine. He has helped millions of people improve their mental and physical health through his innovative research and accessible educational resources. Naturally, I thought, I'm a pretty smart cookie. Let's see what this guy has to say about why I'd rather binge watch cat videos than tackle my to-do list. So, in the last 15 days, I've watched almost 100 of his videos. Yep, 100. What did I find? Well, let me tell you, it wasn't the usual set goals, make a routine advice that we all love to ignore. No, this was science-backed, brain-hacking stuff that made me feel like I could take on the world, or at least finally organize my sock drawer. So, in this video, I'm going to spill the beans on everything I learned. Trust me, if it can make me, someone who considers just one more episode a life motto, more productive, it can work for you too. Get ready to crush your laziness without all the usual boring advice. First, you've got to figure out how to boost your baseline dopamine levels in order to beat laziness. But wait, what the hell is dopamine anyway? It is the magical little chemical in your brain that's supposed to make you feel like you can conquer the world, but instead, most days, it just leaves you wondering if you have the energy to conquer getting out of bed. Have you ever wake up and feel like you're dragging yourself through the day, like a sloth on a Monday morning? Yeah, that's probably your baseline dopamine level giving you the finger. Dopamine is like your brain's personal cheerleader, hyping you up to tackle your to-do list with excitement. But what happens when your cheerleader decides to take an extended coffee break? You're left feeling unmotivated, lazy, and questioning your life choices like, do I really need to shower today? So, how can you get that dopamine boost to keep going? That's the million-dollar question, my friend, and lucky for you, I've got some answers. Let's dive into how you can crank up your dopamine levels and finally feel like you're ready to take on the day, or at least tackle that laundry pile that's been staring at you for a week. Think of your dopamine levels like a wave pool. Now, before you can ride those sweet waves of motivation, you need enough water in the pool. Yep, enough dopamine flowing around in your system. But how do we fill that pool without turning into mad scientists or buying weird gadgets that promise to boost your brain power? Good news! There are 5 simple and no-cost ways to top off that dopamine pool. And no, it doesn't involve selling your soul or taking weird supplements. So, grab your floaties, because we're diving into the easy stuff that'll keep your motivation waves rolling, starting with the one we all love to ignore: sleep. Yep, quality sleep is like the ultimate recharge button for your brain. Without it, trying to tackle your goals is like trying to drive a car with no gas, lots of effort, no progress. I myself noticed a massive difference when I finally started prioritizing sleep. If you're like me and struggle to get your sleep act together, don't worry. There are toolkits and guides like the Master Your Sleep Guide available online for free. Trust me, your future well-rested self will thank you. Speaking of rest, let's dive into something that might sound a bit strange but is a total game changer: non-sleep deep rest, NSDR. No, it's not meditation, but it's in the same neighborhood. Think of it as the lazy person's guide to recharging your brain. You lie down, do a little body scan, and focus on slow, deep breaths. The best part is, it will boost your dopamine levels by up to 65%. You can find free guided NSDR sessions online, and some are as short as 10 minutes, so even the busiest of us can squeeze it in. Third is nutrition. I know eating right sounds about as fun as doing your taxes, but hear me out. Your body needs certain nutrients, especially this fancy amino acid called tyrosine, to pump out that sweet, sweet dopamine. You can find it in delicious things like cheese, meat, nuts, and even some veggies. I myself tweaked my diet and boom, more energy, more focus. If I can eat my way to better dopamine, so can you. And don't forget about sunlight. Yes, that bright thing in the sky we sometimes forget about. Specifically, getting some morning sunlight is like giving your brain a gentle nudge to wake up and start the day right. Just a few minutes outside can do wonders, setting up your dopamine levels and even giving you a nice cortisol boost in the morning. I make it a point to catch the sunrise whenever I can, and it's made a world of difference in how I feel all day long. Last thing you have to do to improve your dopamine levels is regular exercise. Whether you're pumping iron, jogging, or just power walking to the fridge, staying active is key to keeping your dopamine levels in check. It's not just about that post-workout high. It's about maintaining those baseline dopamine levels so you don't feel like a deflated balloon halfway through the day. I started exercising regularly, and guess what? My energy and motivation went through the roof. So if you're looking for a natural dopamine boost, get up and get moving. You'll thank yourself later. But there's a problem. Only maintaining your dopamine level is not enough to beat laziness, because if you don't do this next thing, this whole process just breaks and becomes irrelevant. And this is the exact same thing responsible for why some people seem to have superhero-level willpower while others can't resist a snack break every 20 minutes. The secret is in a tiny little known part of your brain with a big fancy name, the anterior mid-cingulate cortex, or AMC for short. But let's be real, who has time for that? Let's just call it the willpower muscle, because that's exactly what it is. Now, here's the fun part. This willpower muscle actually grows when you force yourself to do stuff you really don't want to do. Think of it like brain push-ups every time you resist the urge to scroll through social media and start working, or actually go for that run you've been dreading. Your AMC gets stronger. Athletes and the people who seem to have endless drive and determination have supersized AMCs. It's also true for anyone who consistently tackles challenges head-on. Turns out, this little brain nugget might be what's keeping us all motivated to, not just survive, but thrive. But there's always a catch. If you start getting too comfortable with thriving and stop challenging yourself, your willpower muscle can shrink faster than your enthusiasm for Monday mornings. So, let's say you start taking cold showers because you heard it's good for you. At first, your AMC is like, wow, we're really doing this, and starts growing. But if you stick with it long enough and start enjoying those icy showers, the growth slows down. The trick is to keep throwing new challenges at yourself, things that really make you cringe, so that your AMC keeps growing up. Andrew Huberman, who's always been a bit of a brain geek, was totally floored when he stumbled upon this fact. Even after years of teaching neuroanatomy and thinking he knew everything there was to know about the brain, learning about the AMC was like finding out there's a secret level in a video game. So next time you're avoiding that one thing you really don't want to do, remember, your willpower muscle is just waiting for a workout. But there's still one problem left. You've learned how to boost your dopamine levels and strengthen your willpower to beat laziness. But unfortunately, you won't succeed if you're not consistent. The good news is that staying consistent is actually easier than you might think. You just need to avoid 3 common mistakes, which I have explained in this video. I highly recommend watching it so you can stay consistent and achieve your goals.